So, have you always wanted to be a chef?
You know, it's weird you asked that question. I remember being little and going to diners with my mom and always being fascinated from where is the food coming from, where's that server go behind that door, or just where all my drinks came from. And restaurants were always kind of a thing for my family to get together, so it grew a part of me. And so, yes, I guess I've been fascinated about restaurants my whole life. Owning and running and operating one, not really. That kind of just happens, you know. I got a gift. It just popped in one day, and now I'm using it. So
Being a white guy, how do you get into making Chinese food?
how I ended up making Chinese, I don't want to call it that. Excuse me. How I ended up making Asian food was kind of a fall pass, I guess, in life. I got lucky when I lost a job to get invited to this other job called the Hollow Bistro, and it was kind of an American Asian fusion, but very light on it. And I picked it up quick, and I liked it. And I like Asian food, and it kind of spun a joke into doing a food truck called the Rice Age, where we would do different types of fried rices. And from there, it got serious when I did a business plan and got invested in, started it, and then boom, here I am, you know. So
How long did you have the food truck? Word, word. How long did you run a food truck?
I've had the food truck for 2 years. I've sold it, and now I'm about 90% debt free in my business because of it. So I ran it for 2 years. That's how long I had the food truck, and that was probably the most exhausting and hardest 2 years of my life. It was insane.
How do you go from the food truck to a storefront?
Having a food truck and then evolving into a storefront, I think it's common sense, honestly, when you're in this industry in Buffalo and Western New York that most trucks can't run 12 months out of the year, but bills and loans keep coming, or yeah, and you got to pay the bills and insurances. They bill you yearly, so if you have a good product and people in the summer love it and they love it in the fall and they love it in the spring, you only need to open up for 3 or 4 months in the winter times to sustain. And I said, why not? Steve Harvey said jump, and I did, and now I'm flying. Look that interview up, man. Or look that speech up. It's incredible.
All right, all right. I will. I think you are probably the first person to ever tell me Steve Harvey is their idol. But beside that, that's a pretty big jump. How did you get the capital for the
Getting the
storefront?
capital for my business, getting the capital for my business was not as tough, but it was very stressful. I did have private investors. I also did some of my own, but I did it very smart. I didn't touch the banks, and I still haven't. And so I had people who believed in me. I made an amazing business plan, and I would put it up against any food truck's business plan. I
That's
really
really
put my
cool,
heart
man.
into
Oh,
it.
my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt.
So getting the capital for the food truck, whether it was through a private investor, myself, or just any other forms, was not as tough as I thought it would be after I really did a really, really good business plan. Professional, to the point, precise. I mean, the numbers were serious and people saw it, and a few people wanted to jump on board. I ended up getting lucky with a close family member taking a big risk with me, you know. And then I also had my former restaurant owner took a big risk with me, and then my own risk myself. So all in all, I jumped in the puddle with about $125,000 before I started up the engine. So
That's so cool. I mean, to be that close to total solvency, only having opened up back in January is just unheard of. Makes sense though. I mean, the food is amazing. How are your margins?
sustainable margins for my business. I've been lucky. I think what I'm doing is right. I'm starting really small. Um, I'm kind of actually, I think I'm shrinking even smaller than the food truck at times, but I have very little overhead. I don't have employees right now. I have a small opening spot, 200 square feet, so there's no tables to wait on or clean, and my kitchen's all I need to really focus on. It's all about the food. So I keep a very low margin. I'm blessed for that. If you want a number, I do about a 27% food cost, and I need to make about $113 a day and 5 days a week for 20 days out of the month to pay my bill. Bill, not bills.
So it's fair to say you're thriving.
My business is doing very well, and Good Fortune's future is that's a tough one. I don't have a word for it because I want it to be something people don't really see or recognize every day. I get a lot of comments about the menu being very unique, and I think I can make it even more unique, but yet more appetizing, more savory. I know the food I could put out is amazing. I want to get into people's homes and their fridges. I want to put my sauces in their fridges, how to make my food in their fridges. I want to expand. I want to have a unique wine and beer bar to tag along with my food because it's incredible with the flavors, and what I can do with cocktails I think is also mind blowing. So Good Fortunes has a big future. I think I'm slowly outgrowing where I'm at, so if I'm ready to expand, you'll hear about it.
You also aren't just Greg the chef and businessman, you're Greg the husband and dad. How do you find the time to be with family when you're trying to build all of this?
There's there's one simple rule that I follow when I have to run a business as well as be a part of a family and part of my son's life and my wife's lives, and I have a close family with her family, so being part of their life's a priority. It's family first, no matter what. I mean, I am a single man show, and it hurts me in ways, but I think the positives outweigh the negatives in me doing my own thing right now. If I have to close down the restaurant because something's chirping and I gotta go handle it, I'm gone. That's family first, man. That's it.
Always family first. Any last words before we wrap?
While you guys are enjoying your incredible sesame chicken and your vegetable lo mein, you should stop down and try the lemon pepper curry sauce. 11 Minnesota inside quarter across from Aldi's. You can't miss it. You'll see me. Tell them Will sent you. Bye.